President Biden is raising the stakes on Israel. He's threatening to hold up more arms shipments if the IDF invades Rafah. One Israeli leader says that will only embolden Iran and its proxies.
Well, that view is shared by members of the U.S. Congress. Appearing before the Senate, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin faced harsh criticism for the move. CBN's Julie Stahl reports.
The Biden administration has long told Israel that it will not support a full-scale invasion of Rafah. Yesterday, the president told CNN that the U.S. will withhold certain weapons if that happens.
I made it clear that if they go into Rafah, they haven't gone into Rafah yet. If they go into Rafah, I'm not supplying the weapons that have been used historically to deal with Rafah, to deal with the cities, to deal with that problem.
The president said the U.S. will continue to provide for defense like Iron Dome to protect against outside attacks.
We're not walking away from Israel's security. We're walking away from Israel's ability to wage war in those areas.
Earlier this week, the administration announced it's holding up delivery of about 3,500 bombs to Israel. Biden also cited withholding artillery shells. At a Senate hearing, the U.S. Secretary of Defense admitted future arms deliveries to Israel could be cut off.
We are currently reviewing some near-term security assistance shipments in the context of unfolding events in Rafah.
That led to a testy exchange with Republican Senator Lindsey Graham.
Do you believe Iran really wants to kill all the Jews if they could? The Iranian regime, yeah. Do you believe Hamas is serious when they say we'll keep doing it over and over again? Do you agree that they will if they can?
I do. Hamas,
okay, right. Do you believe that Hezbollah is a terrorist organization also bent on the destruction of the Jewish state?
Hezbollah is a terrorist organization.
Okay, so you're telling me you're going to tell them how to fight the war and what they can and can't use when everybody around them wants to kill all the Jews? And you're telling me that if we withhold weapons in this fight, the existential fight for the life of the Jewish state, it won't send the wrong signal?
While some Democrats also question the administration's stance, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is backing the White House decision.
I believe that Israel and America have an ironclad relationship, and I have faith in what the Biden administration is doing.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declined to comment on the possibility of losing U.S. weapons support, but earlier this week he said Israel would fight its genocidal enemies even if it had to go it alone. In a radio interview, Israel's ambassador to the UN said Biden's decision will encourage its enemies.
Any pressure on Israel or the restrictions placed on Israel is interpreted by our enemies, Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, and everyone, as something that gives them hope to succeed in their objectives that are certainly not good for Israel.
Meanwhile, Israel carried out aerial strikes against dozens of terror targets in the central Gaza Strip, including military structures and terror tunnels. On Wednesday, terrorists launched numerous rockets from within civilian areas of Rafah toward the Kerem Shalom crossing, the main entry point for food and supplies to enter Gaza. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
This is absolutely not a time to be sending mixed messages. You can't on one day at a Holocaust memorial talk about defending the Jews and then the next day say, we're going to withhold weapons so that they can't defend themselves. The two messages don't mix at all. And when that message is heard in a tunnel in Gaza, it gives them hope that all they have to do is hold out. Hamas is on the brink of losing control, and that should absolutely happen. Those remaining brigades of terrorists should be absolutely eliminated, and Hamas no longer controlling that city. They've been in control since 2006. Israel has not been part of Gaza for a long period of time. To make any claim that they're in occupied territory is denying the facts on the ground. The facts are Hamas is occupying Gaza. Hamas is the reason the Gazan citizens are suffering. They're the ones cutting off humanitarian aid. They're the ones who have diverted all UN aid, all U.S. aid, into terror, into either creating rockets to attack Israel or build these tunnels. They haven't done the basics of government. They haven't provided electrical plants, water plants. They haven't provided even food for their citizens. Before October 7th, there was a survey of people in Gaza. Israel wasn't involved at all. It was entirely under the control of Hamas. Before October 7th, the citizens living there said, we have food insecurity. We don't know where our next meal is coming from. That's when all the avenues of aid were completely open. There wasn't the IDF trying to knock out Hamas. They were on their own, living on their own. If you care about the citizens of Gaza, the people there, you have to eliminate Hamas. Until that happens, there won't be peace. When they vow they're going to attack, they're going to attack. You can believe them. If you let them stay in power, you let them recover from this, well, all they're going to do is rebuild rocket launchers and rebuild terror infrastructure, and they're going to attack Israel again. Israel can't have that. And in these times, we need to be very certain in our messaging. We stand with Israel.